I am going to be sharing a book review on the first book that I started and finished for 2026. This is the first book in the Shady Hollow series, and this was actually one of my Christmas gifts. So I'm going to be adding this to my book journal, of course, and just sharing my honest thoughts and opinions on it. So I'm going to start off by saying that this book I 1000% recommend because it's a good story. It has a lot of mystery in it, but despite the fact that it's a murder mystery, it is not gory. It is incredibly lighthearted, which I think is really, really nice. They actually included a cast of characters in this, which I was very appreciative of because I did find that many times when I was reading this book, I went back and forth from this to the page I was reading to see who was who, etc. This book also, like with the characters, it reminded me a lot of the cartoon Franklin, which I loved when I was little, and not gonna lie, I still love to this day. I am a very firm believer that if you have a cartoon that you loved when you were a kid, you are not too old to still love that cartoon. So, this book, like I said, is a very, very lighthearted book. It is not gory, there is nothing in it, and I would definitely recommend this to all age groups. It is really, really good. I did find that it was a shorter read, and even though it did take me about, I think it was a week to read it, I still really enjoyed it. And the reason why it took me a week to read this book, it probably would have taken me not so long, um, is when I started this book, like literally the next day I got confused and I thought I missed something. So I literally stopped reading it at like page 40 and went back to the first page and read basically the first 40 pages again to make sure that I didn't miss anything, which I didn't. And I just got confused with something, but I was able to basically sort of, I guess you could say, fly through this book. It was very, very good, very well written. I loved the banter of the characters and I loved the description of the characters. Like, there is a cute little hummingbird in this. Um, I just, I thought the characters were so, so cute. And like I said, it reminded me a lot of the cartoon Franklin. And I definitely will be reading like the next books in the series. I haven't decided if I'm gonna get the whole series yet. When it comes to trying out a new series, and this is just my personal opinion, I am a very firm believer that you really only should get the first book and then maybe like halfway through, if you're really liking it, get the second book. That way, um, if for some reason the book ends on like a cliffhanger or something, you already have the second book. Obviously, like if it's available and released already, that way you don't have to wait. But for me personally, I will definitely be reading the second book. I really, really liked it. I will be reading the second book, I should say, at some point this year. Um, it was very, very good. And like I said, a very lighthearted book. Um, Basically, I'm going to call the book a palate cleanser. It was just really fun. And and I will tell you that the ending of the book I was not expecting. There was a twist in this that I was not expecting, and I was not happy about it. I am the type of person when I read books that when they kill off characters, I don't like it. I don't know why. I don't like it because I feel like when it comes to reading, you get attached to some characters, and that's just what happened with me. I did like there was my actual favorite book. They killed off one of the main characters in it, and I really liked the character. And I remember it made me so mad, and like I think I cried that I would not read the second book in the series. And a few months ago or a few years ago, my mom was like, "Do you want to try reading the second book now? Since you've read, that book multiple times already, do you want to try the second book, even though they did what they did in the first?" So I tried it and everything's okay. I actually have not read the third book in that series, but I would like to read that eventually. I will do a video on my favorite book because I feel like it's a classic and I believe it's considered a classic. Um, but yeah, I do plan to make a video on that. And for anyone who's wondering what my favorite book is, it's Anne of Green Gables. Um, this book is like much loved in my family, to be honest. So, anyway, back to this book. I loved it. I would highly recommend it. Very quick read. and the characters were just really, really cute. I found myself kind of just smiling through it and trying to see if I could figure it out, obviously. And I normally, when it comes to like reading a mystery book, I can usually figure characters out right away on who did what, etc. I was not able to do so with this one, and I thought that was really, really fun. And you'll notice when I'm writing here that I crossed out a word, and that was because for a brief second I forgot how to spell the word. Again, I'm human and that happens. I will also say though that I have been absolutely loving my reading journal. I have seen so many people on Instagram talk about reading journals and updating it. I've seen a lot of people actually do like where they have it on like their tablet. It's like a program you can download. I don't think I'm going to do that because I like physically writing, but obviously like everyone has to do what works best for them. But I like watching people update their reading journals because it's very relaxing and it's quite like just entertaining to watch. I have seen some people who print out like on a piece of sticky paper for their printer. I didn't even know that existed, to be honest. Um, like the actual book cover, and then they just stick it to the book or stick it to the page that they're writing in. I don't think I'm going to do that, but I do in fact love writing about the books that um I am reading so far, so I'm really glad that I decided to do this. And I think this little journal that I'm using is just so cute. And I love like vintage type things, and this definitely gives me like a vintage floral feel to it. And for anyone wondering where did I get this book, you can get off Amazon. I don't know if like a bookstore would have it because to be honest, I haven't looked at a bookstore. I've been to the bookstore twice recently, and I have not thought to check to see if a bookstore has it, but I this was purchased from Amazon. And like I said, very, very good. And if you were looking for a good mystery that is very lighthearted, no gory elements to it whatsoever, I would definitely recommend this. Plus, if you're a fast reader, you probably could breeze through this in like a day, to be honest. So that is it for my book review of the first book that I started and finished for 2026. Um, yeah, I also will be starting journaling content on my channel soon, and that's it.